Well, until Disco comes back, because I'm sure he wants to talk Super Bowl. Did you watch AEW?
I did.
Right.
We're talking. I texted Joe about it earlier. I felt like they lost a lot of trust of people because now it's a case of they're almost catfishing now with this Forbidden Door thing, and then he turns around and goes, "I forgot my own meaning of the Forbidden Door, and I had to sign another person instead." Like he's embarrassing himself now. He's doing stuff which Vince McMahon would never do. Like he's now acting in a way that you can't associate him with Vince, which is good because he has so much more money, but you can clearly tell that he's not been in a position where he's earned that money before, he's built something before, like he understands business and how to speak and how to communicate. Like he seems like a money mark. That's what Russo always called him. And that's actually what he's coming across as to me, because it's really bad to do that. And then always coming out and explaining everything to these marks on the dirt sheets. Like he should be above explaining every single inside thing in his business, and he should be above over promoting and under delivery. You should do the opposite, where you over deliver on a lesser promise. But I think they were just desperate, and I don't know why, to beat Raw for 1 week, and I thought they could do it. Maybe they felt like they could do it because Raw was on Sci-Fi.
Well, they actually did pop a good rating, better than the week before, but I thought Jay White was underwhelming, and I always think that, I brought this up yesterday to Disco, and there's nothing wrong with catering to your fans because those are your hardcore fans and you sponsor goodwill, but I think he over caters to them and he forgets about the mainstream fans. He forgets about growing his audience, and he's more busy than keeping happy what's already there, which is going to be there anyways. You know what I'm saying? And I thought White was very underwhelming.
Well, that they said he said that was a last minute signing, but it's still It's still this assumption with this
don't
company.
Pump it up like it's something big, because it wasn't. I actually thought the signing was Keith Lee, and they were like, "Oh no, it's Jay White," and I was like, "Wow, that to me is even worse." Like at least people know who Keith Lee was. He just came out for WWE. Who's gonna know who Jay White is unless you're a hardcore New Japan fan or you know what I'm saying?
And
Konnan, this is what I was about to say. This big assumption that everybody who watches knows everything. That proves the point that they're going for the Wrestling Observer reader, this very, very small like minority of the wrestling audience. And I don't understand. Like I don't know who the guy is. So to me, it meant nothing. And I watch a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, you're muted. You're muted, Billy.
I was talking to my son. I wanted to. All right, my son thinks when I say plug something in, it means plug it in a different room.
Right. So
move on.
Though I will say this, I like the Inner Circle thing because they were very stale to me, and now they're kind of interesting. Well, they're not kind of; they are. I like that.
Well, what's the idea with that though? Is the idea to move them over to Eddie, and Eddie has his own group, and Jericho?
Yes, I don't know. I don't know the idea behind it. That's what it looks like to me.
And then,
but it's better than what they were doing, bro. They weren't doing. They were just standing behind Chris, and and they, that shoot sounded like that promo sounded like a shoot to me, like a half a shoot. So I mean, I guess maybe Eddie's gonna lead them against Chris Jericho and maybe Sammy and Hager. I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, it looked like Sammy wanted to get out of the group, or is disassociating himself with the group and is going singles. But that's the weird thing, because like Hager was signed as a big deal, and this was going to be the company that done something with Hager. But then at the same time, you're seeing that a lot. They keep making these signings, and there was going to be a case of we're going to do this with Hager, and we're going to do this with Aleister Black, and we're going to do this with Adam Cole, and the star power isn't there. Like I don't know whether, and this whole thing with Keith Lee this week, where he was touted out to be a game changer, but he can go and win his matches on Dark and Dynamite and what's the other show, Rampage and whatever, and get that record up to 9-0, 10-0, 11-0 or whatever. But it's not translating as a star. Like they've got to start quickly putting these people together. Like I understand. Like
this is how Keith Lee comes out to. This is how he and Jay White both come off to me right now. And who knows what they might do with them. Just two more great workers in a company full of great workers that they don't know what to do with them.
But the thing is that's the case. If that's the case with so many people, because everybody is, it's a weird thing because this is the only company that I've seen where protecting people is hurting them. Because you kept Adam Cole away from everybody, but then he was doing goofy on the side, and then you put him on there. Then you recently put him in a match with Orange Cassidy, and you tried to protect him by saying, "Oh, that loss doesn't count." But that's the thing. It's like you're overprotecting everybody by putting them in these matches where you're trying to build up their win streaks, but you're not protecting them really because they're having to sell for all of these people who are uncredible opponents. So in the end, you don't produce any stars at all. I think that like in order to get the ratings up, if you've got all these people, start doing the dream matches now. Like mix them up, mix Moxley and Cole and Bryan and Punk, and these guys should all be wrestling each other because you've got all of these people in. And I mean, Alice, let's look at Aleister Black for an example. Now he's in a tag team. He came in and worked with Cody. When do I get the Aleister Black Hangman match? When do I get Aleister Black versus Punk? When do I get Aleister Black versus Moxley? When do they tie all these combinations together? I understand that they're waiting for certain matches, but you're actually not delivering matches at all. By the time Aleister Black what's his name in AEW? It's popped out of my head. Aleister Black?
Holy
Malachi Black.
Malachi Black, yeah. By the time Malachi Black gets round to these opponents that everybody wanted to see him face, like no one's going to care because he's already been in and out of a tag team. It's just stupid. It's the way of doing it. Like you're in it. If you think you're in a ratings war, which you're not, which Bischoff will clearly tell you you're not, just start making the matches now. Like you never ever do these combination of matches on television.
Well, the problem is, like you say, instead of putting him up against named guys, they're putting him in against Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty. You know, who the wants to see Jada Cargill against AQA or whoever the she wrestled yesterday? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
that's a big problem. Or like when Moxley came in and he told this guy, hey, let's put a group together and bring in Jimmy Utah. I'm like, all right, dude, that's not a group anybody really wants to see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're so busy trying to give everybody a rub and make every match competitive. They're doing it all wrong to me, you know? Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!